Okay, so this is just to go over creating a simple um, three-track piece in GarageBand. First of all, we'll open up GarageBand here and we come to the usual create song or open song dialog, and so we're going to come and click on the plus here to create a new song. And let's scroll through, and we're going to start off with the drums. You see we've got lots of options here, but we'll start off with the drums. And I'm going to use the smart drums for this one. So if I click on smart drums, it brings me up this algorithm pad here where anything towards the top is loud, becoming quiet, left simple, right complex, and so it's all on a continuum in between those parts there. I'm not going to use the hip hop drum machine. I'm just going to use, for simplicity, I'm going to use the Classic Studio Kit to change my drum sounds. I just click on the icon there, and I'm going to click just a Classic Studio Kit. And now, when I bring on the items, you can hear we can audition them just by clicking on them, but that starts them then playing, and they play set to the tempo that I've chosen. If I want to change the tempo at any point, I can come and change it here. So if I want to make it faster or slower, I can change it there by clicking on that settings wheel and tempo. And now let's fill in. I've made that very simple and fairly loud. I'll make slightly more complex hi-hat routine. You see we're starting to build up the beat, and I'll put a snare drum in there as well. And we're starting to build up a beat. So you can build that up and make it as complex as you wish or as simple. And now I'm going to record 8 bars of that. So I can just come up to the record button and record 8 bars. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I can stop, and it'll restrict me then to my 8 bars, which is all I need for this particular piece. Okay, so that's, I've laid down my rhythm, and if we play it back, if we play it back here, you can see it all works perfectly well. And so now the next part in our little recipe is we're going to add a bass. And as this simple activity is mainly about getting them to improvise a melody on using a pentatonic, then we want to set up, we can use one of the loops, which I often feel is a bit of a cheat, but we're going to use a loop to set up our bass. So if we come up here to the loops, as you can see, if you click on instruments, you can then get to the bass straight away, so it filters it out for the bass. You can audition the basses to see the kind of thing you want. That's what I quite like, the streamlined bass guitar. It's not too obtrusive, so it's not going to take away from the fact that I'm improvising. So I'll then, all I need to do is drag that into place, and if I play now, I've got it there just as I need it, and it repeats itself. Okay, so now that we've laid down those 2 tracks, now we come to our improv track, and so I'm going to add in an instrument here. So I'm going to click on add on the plus sign, and I'm going to go for a keyboard instrument, though you could actually go for some of the other instruments, but to make best use of the pentatonic, I'm going to use a keyboard. So I'm going to click on the keyboard, just click on it, and you can select whatever sound you want your keys to make from here, and you can choose any sort of instruments that are on the system. I've got French horn there, but I can choose from, I've got keyboards, I've got lots of things, I've got leads and pads. Ooh, sync lead, so you can see that goes across there. Let's try it out. There we are, that's quite, oh, I want something quite obtrusive for that so I can hear my sound clearly in the mix. So I'm going to change that to sync lead. So I've done, so there it is, it shows me the sound I'm going to have. Now I don't want a full piano keyboard. I want to make it easy for myself, so I'm going to choose a different scale to have, and this is where I choose my pentatonic. Now there's lots of scales to choose from, but I'm going to restrict to major pentatonic. It's worth having to go with the minor pentatonic as well if you want to try different moods with your music. So major pentatonic, and that simplifies my keyboard now down to 5 notes per octave. Okay, and so I can try that out. There, so that's quite a nice sort of vibrant kind of sound. Okay, so I can practice now because this will loop around these 8 bars. So before I commit myself to recording anything, I can just hit play there, and I can then practice. So I'm going to hit play, and now I can practice. And one guideline always to give is to make sure your melody starts on a C and ends on a C, and then you know that when they get to the end of their improv, then it'll have that finality to it. Okay, so once I'm ready to improvise, I can click on record for my count-in. See then it repeats itself, so you can hear it. You can hear exactly what you've played. So there you've created a very simple 3-layer texture with your drums, your bass and your lead or melody. Okay, and of course this is infinitely changeable, so we could just select that and we could delete it if we wanted to and try again, or we could add even more tracks. We could improvise another track to go with it to get a different texture. Okay, that's just a simple introduction to layering in GarageBand.